Hi, Lisa Schermerhorn here with the Grassroots Warrior Network, and this is my show where truth lies. And oh my God, I'm so excited because I have two of like my best friends here.
Yay.
We just had an amazing experience at the Awakening Summit down in New York, and we wanted to do a little bit of a recap and explain everything. So, many of you may know Joe Rosati. He's with TruthStream, the other half of Scott Stone. And then we have Barry Fisher, who actually lives here. And is also an amazing professional photographer, and she was there really capturing the entire event. So I want to say hello and welcome both of you here.
Absolutely. It's amazing to be in your house in Vermont right now.
I know we've been talking about
Incredible.
this for what, 4 years?
Yeah, at least three. So yeah, I just got to say the people of Vermont that Lisa and Barry have introduced me to are absolutely incredible. So thank you guys for open up your home and your friends. It's been
Yeah, there's a handful of us that are not left-wing progressive crazy Karens.
oh my gosh. Um, yeah, I mean it was so great that you guys could both be there and attend the event. And it's been amazing. Not only the event, but afterwards when Donna took us to New York and the Empire State Building and out on the boat. And I mean it was a whirlwind, and to have the company of all the people that were part of the event was incredible.
Yeah. One of the things that I find with going to these events that is the best part of it, I mean, the speakers are always amazing. It's the connections.
Yeah.
Because when you see someone that you've been following for a long time and suddenly you get to meet them in person and sit down and hang with them and have a conversation. I mean, we had, I'd never met Brad Olson before. Laura Eisenhower popped in. She happened to be in New York City for another event and she joined us. Derek Johnson, Dave, and
Go
my
Rambo.
and Joe Rambo were awesome. Love meeting them. Just so many, and I have to say the hard work of Elisa Valentino and Donna Ferrera, and I'm not going to say her nickname because we might get bleeped, but we had
Yes.
extraordinary women who put together something from their heart and soul.
Yeah.
Right. And Barry had the opportunity to really capture, and the way I love watching Barry move around the room and capture the essence and the soul of what happened. So I'd love Barry for you to introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your experience.
Sure. Barry Fisher, um, here on this earth plane right now, or whatever.
We
Uh,
think.
yes, and it is wonderful to have Joe here at the house. It's been a lot of fun. But I photographed Anaheim with Louis Herms,
That
with
was
Lisa and
October.
crew. That
Yeah,
was
October 2022.
2022.
Yeah, yeah,
So Lisa and I were on this adventure, and we met all of these wonderful people that were now involved with that our soul team, soul tribe is more like it. And we then went to Ohio and did another event with who was that we went with? I'm drawing a
Scott McKay.
McKay, of course. Scott McKay, a lot of great people there. And then this one. So really building a portfolio of amazing people in this on this universe that are helping with everything that's going on that we see from our point of view. I have to put it that way. And the event with Donna and Elise and Stu, everybody that
Yeah.
came, all the speakers really put together some amazing talks about what's going on in the universe. And I get to capture that, and I
Yeah.
get to see expressions. I get to really feel them when they're talking, because I look through this lens and I pull it up really when it's time. I'm watching them for a while, looking at how their angles are, etc., and their emotion, and then I go in with the cameras and get all these
Yeah.
moments along with the reaction of the crowd,
right.
and what people are saying, and then with that, you end up meeting people in the crowd, and then they become your family, and then the whole thing just snowballs into this beautiful, magical,
Tapestry.
tapestry of
Yeah.
all of us creating new earth.
Yeah, and it was so cool for me to turn around and see you one night at dinner. You're having this deep conversation with Carrie Cassidy, and then the next night we're at dinner, and I turn around and you're sitting next to Jan Halper Hayes. And
Right.
these are like giants for me, like people who've really put themselves on the line throughout their lives, and then you get to meet them at this intimate level. What was that like for you?
Well, to me, with the way I like to work is to really understand who they are, as where their journey brought them and why they're here today, and why I'm sitting at the dinner table with them,
Yeah.
with Scott and Joe next to me, and it's just incredible people that are taking care of this. But talking to Carrie was really, I don't, it just was really heartfelt, because we found a lot of connections with the way that we were raised, and every time she'd say something or I'd say something, she'd be like, "Me too," and I go, "Me too," and then it was, hand holding at the end, and just really eye to eye, soul to soul, just connection. And same with Jan,
Yeah.
there with her wonderful dog Cody, and asking her questions. You can ask intimate questions when you're at dinner and you're really in a situation, instead of in a big crowd where you get distracted, someone's pulling you one way or the other. And I personally really
Yeah.
tune out everything out and just really focus on that conversation.
Yeah, and Joe, you worked so hard to help put this together and bring people in. And as someone who is more of a healer than a truther per se, like, my work is really, I feel like, has really progressed into the quantum realm and all that work. But I was like pinching myself to be on the stage with all these amazing people. I mean, Laura Worley telling her story of MK Ultra, and it was really heart-wrenching. And it was just the amount of people who were there and the diversity of the conversation, and even going into extraterrestrials with Brad Olson and Chris O'Connor, having some people having meltdowns in the audience.
Poor Susan.
I know, poor Susan. If you want to talk about that.
Well, that was the thing about this event is, when Donna and Elisa had asked me to be part of it, or to help, to jump in as a man that's in this movement, and then to start making suggestions for, because it was going to be, I think initially it was going to be more of like a, men that are on the front lines, healthy masculinity. And then they decided, well, let's have some of the speakers that were at the event in October also come. And that's where it really opened up, because it felt like now we can have this 2-day event that's very multifaceted. And of course, I thought of wanting you to be there, and a few other people that were, so many people that we'd asked, they all said yes. And then that, you get a couple yeses, and that creates kind of this foundation and this vortex where other people want to be a part of it. So
Right.
it was pretty amazing to see. I don't know if a lot of events, in-person events, have been this multifaceted before, and I think that was something really special about this. So what did you think
Yeah.
about that part of it?
Well, it so here's the interesting thing. And I don't think the audience was truly ready for the entire thread of why all those topics were covered, because they are actually all interrelated. When you think about the extraterrestrial, child trafficking, quantum, all of those topics that get thread through is when you go back to the reptilians and the children and the blood.
Right.
And there wasn't really a touching upon that part of it. I think that some people are ready for that information and some people aren't.
Right.
But all of the topics were there. It's just a matter of piecing it all together. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, completely. And Donna did. I think it was the start of the second day where she tried to thread that all together.
Yes.
Because if people don't realize we're literally in a spiritual battle,
Right.
you don't understand, the Book of Enoch and why it was removed, and that there's more to the spiritual teachings, such as the Bible, and the like I said, the Book of Enoch and things. If you don't know about those components, then it doesn't really make sense. And so I think over time, people will look back at this event if they have a little bit more of a foundational knowledge of why it was all tied together, because it helps explain all of this. Because like I've tried to tell even my own mother that that it's not necessarily people doing this to children. There's something else. There's either a possession or a reptilian component, and at first, if people aren't aware of that, it sounds way out there. But the point is, if you do understand the spiritual battle, then it makes more sense as to what's actually going on, and that these aren't people with souls doing this to each other.
Exactly, because as human beings, you can't even imagine someone would be so cruel and do the things that we're doing and so that are being done. And so when you realize that it's not part of our humanity that's doing it, it's the ultimate control mechanism that's been puppeting us for
Right,
millennia.
right,
And so the thread, when you understand it, looking out, because we had a woman, Sue, who was part of a child trafficking awareness, a group on Long Island, who was doing local work, helping people. And she didn't know anything about anything else.
right.
So she was having her awareness, you know, and you can understand why they're doing the awakening so slowly when you have someone like her who sat and listened to Brad Olson suddenly talking about Antarctica, Nazis, the Germans, flying saucers, and extraterrestrials.
Project Paperclip and
Paperclip and Mockingbird, which she didn't know anything about, so she's already spinning. And then
right.
right after that, we had one of my one of the most my favorite things about these groups is to get to meet new people. Chris O'Connor,
Unbelievable.
mind blower, like changing my life, like totally changed my life by watching him speak.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I don't know if you want to speak about your experience with, I mean, I'm tearing up just talking about him.
I know, but that's the effect that he has on all of us.
He emanates pure unconditional love. He truly does. And people attack him a lot
Right.
because they don't understand him and his information really scares people. But I don't want, Sue was listening. I don't know if you want to talk about your experience listening to him and his story.
I was blown away. I was like, okay, when he was sitting there talking about all his experiences, and my hand was just like,
Right.
so I was very busy asking some questions and was very eager to find out more. And now he's our friend,
Right.
and we love him and are very excited to know him. So
Yeah.
Well, someone who's been age regressed and MK Ultra. I mean, there's so much depth, and we'll be doing an interview with Chris, I think, in the month of May. But to get back to the what having Susan having her mind blown, it's almost like, if people are just getting a pharmaceutical and they're not getting to the root cause of something, I just got kind of a download as we're talking. It's like if they don't understand the component of how humanity's been hijacked and mind control, they're never going to understand the why. And I think that's important, especially in 2026, that that those that might be not really ready for it, I think the flood of information is coming. But if you're just focused on human trafficking and you don't understand all of the other aspects to it, you're never going to get to the root cause. And if our memories keep getting wiped, and then it's crazy or conspiracy theory to talk about this stuff, they have us right where they want us. And that's why I think so many are being a lot more bold in talking about this stuff. Because I had a normal childhood. I don't have any of these experiences in this lifetime. I've had some things that I've been told have happened in past lifetimes. I don't remember them. So I think my role, as far as Truth Stream as well, is to be a bridge to some of the woo woo, because I'm able to ask the questions, but from a space of I don't remember this much either, guys, and so they're on the journey with us as we navigate this information coming out.
No, totally. I sat and thought about, especially with the passing of David Wilcock and everything else that's going on. Barry and I would sit and watch him and watch videos and Fall of Cabal, hours and hours and hours of deep diving research. We had the opportunity to slowly, like someone would say, clone, and we both look at each other and go, clone? What? Like, what? And then it got to a point where I'm like, I know nothing. Like have always known I know nothing, but now I really know I know nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's been nice to be on a journey with people that at least you can talk to. I mean, and you can, come on, I'm coming over, that kind of thing, and watch 4 hours. And, shout out to Dave Wilcock.
Yeah, yeah.
Spoke a lot of people
He
up.
was a huge part of my awakening. Listening to him on Sundays go on for 3.5 to 4 hours. But, so now you have someone, Sue, who's sitting next to me, getting, like drinking out of a fire hose, all at once. So I invite people to kind of have compassion for, people suddenly getting information. And who was talking? Oh, our friend Donnie, we had a conversation the other day. I'd love you to talk about that and what that felt like for you, about
Well,
him waking someone up.
yeah. Well, Donnie. Now, I didn't know much of the history of Donnie, other than what Lisa and Barry had told me. But meeting him in person, it was just apparently he was very bold in statements that he's made over the years, and to have someone, I don't know how this person was related to him, but a younger gentleman had come up to Donnie and basically said in person that you're right about everything. And Donnie, he got a little verklempt because it's very rare that someone will come up to you and either apologize or say thank you, because
Right.
this is so not easy to do this work. I mean, I never thought I'd be doing this. I mean, like I've told folks before, my dad was a pharmacist, and I questioned a lot of things about that industry, and I just thought I could go out and speak about these topics, and my friends who know me would just get it because they just know me as a true friend. And the fracturing of friendships, the fracturing of families,
Right.
we've all felt it. So there's really beautiful moments when people are willing to come up and just say either thank you or sorry, and I hopefully we see more of that. And because the acknowledgement just lets us know, because we're not really doing this in like willingly. It's a
We want to
calling.
help.
We want to help, and that's the thing. And when the people that you're trying to help are belittling you, it's makes things very challenging. So to those truthers out there, or people just trying to tell your family about this, we totally get you. And I think that's why we have events and do shows like this, because some people have never been able to meet anyone to have these conversations with, and
Right.
that's the beauty and why we do what we do. So
Yeah, it was extraordinary. And I haven't been to a lot of these events. I've been to a number of them over the years, and every single time I go, I feel like I meet new family.
right.
And there's a knowing that happens where we don't have to explain ourselves. We can fully be ourselves and just take that protection, that protective veil down. And otherwise, I feel like in my everyday work and walking around, especially in Vermont, which is very far left and progressive, I can't really show myself. I can't fully be me around people and even family members, because they think you're crazy and they shut down. So to be in an environment where you can go, yeah, 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 I totally get you, and to be seen,
Right.
fully being seen, and I think that's what creates the family. And I have to say, Donna and Elisa had this nurturing, really beautiful way of taking care of us. Like I've never been cared for that way at speaking at event. Lewis
Right.
Harms did a great job there where we all met, but I mean, we all took an extra day and toured New York together. They kept covering things for us and paying for things. It was really amazing.
I think that's the movement into the nurturing, divine feminine that
Right.
we need in this world.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm curious for each one of you, who had the greatest impact for you as you watched this over the past 2 days, or anyone you might have even met in the audience? People.
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Um, yeah, well, I will say Chris O'Connor had, I have done a show with him before, but just to see his soul and how nurturing he was,
Mhm.
and then then learning about, well, there's a device that we had found out about. And I think Barry has one too.
I have
One's
silver.
gold and one's silver.
Yeah.
And there's some interesting information that I will probably save for another show that Lisa's been decoding and conversing with Chris. But he's just been amazing. It's been amazing to. I mean, Matt Geiger, just the heart
Yes.
and soul. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah. I had never met Matt before. I'd heard you and Joe talk about and Scott talk about him quite a bit. Sorry. You guys
It
always,
happened. Oh,
I know. It's
What did she
embarrassing.
say? What did she say?
oh,
I
she's
called I
Oh,
called it.
it's okay. It happens.
So, no, it's like I finally got to meet him in person, and I will tell you, and I said this to him right to his face. Sometimes when you go to events when people have a lot of resources, they can be egomaniacs, right? They can be complete jerks and just make it all about them. I never saw any of that with him, not once. And we had that day on Monday where we went to New York City, went to Midtown, and I lived a block from the Empire State Building, and I never went up because when I lived there, in the 80s, I was on $25 a week, and it was $8 to get up to the top of the Empire State Building. And I'm
Now it's
like,
like 80.
I know, it's insane. And I was like, I didn't have the money to go because it was either eat or go to a club
Right.
or, or go to the top of the Empire State Building. And it was so fun to be able to do that. But, and then having Matt and we got off the train going up the subway stairs, and there was an older woman who had a suitcase with her. And he went up to her and he grabbed her suitcase and he
mhm.
held her arm and he walked her up those stairs.
Right.
And I almost started crying because you don't see that. You talk about divine masculine and the divine feminine. And even Chris O'Connor talked about opening doors for women and women yelling at him, being angry. I don't need you to do that. It's an honoring, it's a respect. It's not I don't think you're strong enough to hold open a door. It's a gesture of, I honor and respect you.
Right.
It was interesting because the morning before he spoke, we all rode in the car together, right?
Mhm. Yes.
And he opened the door for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so nice. Thank you so much. Such a gentleman. And he's like, and then he started to tell me what happened. He said, people really give me shit for that. Oh, is it okay to swear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People give me a hard time for that. I'm like,
That was Chris,
no,
right?
it is
Yeah, that
so
was Chris,
beautiful.
not
Yeah.
Matt, but yeah, both of them.
Yeah. And then he said it on stage and I was
Yeah.
like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true because you hear that. I don't get that. So
So it's
I want
like we've been brainwashed as women that we can do it all. They've been telling us that since the 60s. You can do it all. You don't need a man. You can, and I'll tell you, as someone who worked and had children, and I had the opportunity to then be home with my kids, and my friends that worked were so torn because they wanted to be home with their kids, but they had to work. Or there was always, when I worked, people would say, you're abandoning your children. And when I was home, they're like, oh, what do you do all day? Eat bonbons. It was like I never allowed myself, no one else can make me feel anything. But
Right.
I never was able to feel comfortable in my skin because I was always getting hit with all of these messages of, you know, should I stay home? Should I not stay home? Should I work? Should I not work? What do I, and there were all these sacrifices going around, and people have to make those decisions for themselves. And some people don't have the option. They just have to. I long for the world of simplicity where we can go back and not be rush, 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 run, 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 being in fear, being bombarded with all of these stuff that's going on. And the awakening is so important because we're getting to know who we are, who we were, who we are, and who we are yet to be.
Yes.
Right.
Well, that's been a big part of my life
Yeah.
these last 6, 7, 8 years.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to take that word busy out of my life, or
Yeah.
else. And I'm making my own. I've always made my own decisions, but
Well, talk about you traveled the world with the US ski team and snowboarding team. You photographed the World Cup on skis. This was before digital. So you were doing a lot of this with film with these massive lenses, skiing backwards, catching some of the most famous skiers in the world. And that was a crazy life for you.
it's fun. It just was. I grew up on skis, so it was just walking, and I grew up with a camera. So why not put them together? I knew at the end that's what I was going to do. So it was a really fun life, but the depth, I needed more depth.
Right.
And I knew that by the age of 40, I was like, I've got to move on. There's something not, the skiing and being with the wind and everything is fabulous. Take your hat off and just, but nope. But that word busy, it was time to get it out of my life. And I've been very calm and quiet and not really out there in the world, and needed some time to just regroup. The silence, the meditation, and finding my people.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of people, Matt's posse isn't just a bunch of girls that
I was just
Matt.
thinking that.
I
Oh
mean,
my God.
And Michelle and Shiloh, like they became sisters. I got to actually share. Our rooms were next to each other, so we just opened up the door, and I had like 3 amazing friends there, and then there was another girl named Lisa Mars that came from the area, and her sister was a nurse, and just so many amazing, sweet people that were at the event as well. And so
and meeting Stuart,
awesome.
What a great guy. And you know what? I'm so afraid I'm going to miss someone because I literally fell in love with everyone. I mean, it was really extraordinary. Derek Johnson should start stand-up comedy. I mean, he's one of the most amazing. I've been a speaker for 20 years. And it takes a lot to learn how to be on the stage. When I first started, I would be on the lectern, like right behind my computer. Like, like I don't know if people could even see my face. I was so nervous, and slowly learning to walk the stage. But his wit and his brilliance and his way to circle things back and include the audience the way he does. And you don't have to like what he says. You don't have to agree with everything he says. He's very much law and order, and, this is the way things are in his mind. But man, is he a wealth of information.
Yeah. Yeah. And he has said that this is the year that the disclosure has to happen because we're near 250. I did a 10-minute short from one of our interviews we've done with him most recently. And it was great because, in the 2 or 3 questions that Scott and I were able to ask for the entire interview, because you just asked Derek a couple questions and it's about a half-hour answer. Answers, but I did get that this is the year because it's 250. and Trump's been in office for 10 years, and so I think that it is going to be, it's time, and there is a flood of information coming out in the next couple months. So for those that are feeling tired, hang in there. And I've even said, part of people have asked, like, am I going to be stepping back? And it's yes, a little bit, when we're still going to be doing shows, but a big stressor has been my mom, and we finally found an amazing woman named Caprice, who I've interviewed before, and she's able to take care of my mom when I'm not around. So that's helping. It's just when you're pulled in so many directions and you can barely get the oxygen mask on, it does take a toll. I mean, this has been very challenging for all of many of us, but especially navigating doing a show, not feeling like we have a whole lot of real intel. Are we talking about the same things over and over? And from this event and learning more from many of the speakers, especially Chris, I'm reinvigorated to keep going, because sometimes you just have to recharge your batteries and spend a week in Vermont with amazing people, and that really has helped me out.
Yeah, to give people, you can find Chris on YouTube, and you can find, it's Chris O'Connor. He was basically a super soldier, and at 2 years old, he was taken to a station off one of the moons in Saturn named Mimos.
Yep. Yes.
And his story about being age regressed and progressed, having his consciousness moved into another body because he was attacked. He died 3 times. I mean, his story is remarkable, yet his energy is still about unconditional love. And he brought ET technology back with him. And
That's
this thing is blowing me away. I took a look at it. He was sitting with it, and I'm like, that's an ankh, isn't it? And he started laughing.
and the magnet comes out. Where's yours, Barry?
Oh,
you gotta see the difference. It's so amazing.
So it's called the Deems device, and one side is silver on mine and one is gold. This one's the gold one. It's supposed to be more subtle, where the silver one is more direct.
Right.
And the one side draws out all the negative energy, and the other side, they're magnets and diamonds, and it
Very strong,
creates
too.
very strong and creates a vortex of healing that goes into your body. So you hold it in your whole, oh, careful.
She forgot about the earring.
wow.
Yeah.
You're only supposed to have silver or gold. Did you pull your earring out? Please, not breathing.
I got it, Chris. I got it. Okay. That's the message.
Ooh.
Send that back out. Woo!
So what was your experience with it?
Well, I when you got the gold one, and yours has different technology, but a little more subtle than the silver. I
Oh
wanted
no, it's the same technology, but just this. I
It's
guess the
little-
gold makes it more subtle.
subtle.
Yeah.
Well,
And the silver's more.
and I'm a kind of person.
Yeah.
You are. It actually matches our personalities perfectly.
So the beauty is Lisa has the gold and I have the silver.
You can switch off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
sleep with them
Yeah.
when you're in bed. So this lives with me in my bed now. I
Yeah.
try to be very careful taking it out because of things like my earring that just
Just wish on the ground.
I
I'm gonna
want to
look
be
up
really
Chris.
careful, because if you get these next to anything, it can explode.
Well,
if
not
you-
explode. It will wipe. The magnet will wipe your phone
Oh,
and can wipe your computer because they're really strong. So he said the older ones that used to wipe them, the newer ones aren't as bad, but you definitely want to keep your distance. You don't want to keep them. And it's okay to have silver and gold around jewelry, but not any other metals, because it'll do it. So now you know it's not a silver earring.
Right. I am going to look up Chris's exact website if people are
She'll
interested
probably
in,
put a link.
learning
Yeah,
more.
he handmade them. They're all not numbered, and he only has about 2,000 of them that he made, and that's it. He destroyed the mechanism to make them, so that's it. But he's someone who was brand new for me. I wasn't aware of him. I'd been watching Brad Olson on and off, and his story about going to Antarctica, it was, really amazing. And actually, what we'll do is we can put the link for people if they want to watch the 2 day event. The speakers,
Oh, right.
they can still purchase it.
Yeah.
I highly advise you to see it. There are people who are well known and people not so well known, but there were round tables, and you'll see. There was some banter that went back and forth, but it was all in and from a place of love. And I know they want to do another one. They want to continue and have this grow. And I hope you all see this and then decide that when we talk about the next one that you'll all come because when you're around other people who are of like mind, you create a family. Like I am forever changed from that event. Totally.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it
Oh,
activates us.
right.
We all get activated in different ways. And to me, that's another reason I would, with the ones that I've gone to, I'm just completely supercharged. But I
Yeah.
also really like my quiet time. I have
Yeah.
two different sides, which
Right.
I like. I
Right.
really welcome it.
I did find
Balance.
so it, and of course, we should know the name of his website, but lightlovemedia.com. It makes so much more sense now once you meet him, but it looks like this, and it actually says try the deems yourself.
Device
So
yourself. And then his book, I bought it. Was it Man from
Enos.
Mimos? And I'm looking forward to watching it. He's got some videos on YouTube, and I'm gonna be talking to him soon. I know you will. Maybe we'll do something together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be,
Man of Mimos.
that's what the cover looks, just so people can see that they're on the right page.
Yeah, yeah.
These have a big radius. Are you allowed to
It
talk
was
about it?
9 feet, I think.
Yeah.
So when you bring it into a room,
You're healing the people around you and clearing that. So,
I'm
yeah.
careful to not give it to too many people to hold. Me personally. No, I don't
Yeah, I
know.
know.
Well, if someone has
Not for
really,
everyone.
it's not for everyone because if someone has really dark, dense energy, they're not going to like it.
Or if they have some kind of implant in their, like a heart.
Yeah, yeah, you have to be
I
careful.
want to be really
Pacemaker, you got to be
careful.
careful
Yeah, you
with
got to be really careful
pacemakers
with that.
and that kind of
Right.
metal inside. You want to check with him. But
Right.
Yeah.
anything else stand out to you that we missed? I'm trying to think if there's anyone we didn't touch
Cat,
upon.
like Cat and
Light Warrior
Eden
Patriot
Oh,
Cat, she
yeah,
was
yeah.
awesome.
Cause, Rambo and Dave and Patrick Gunnels.
Oh,
Oh,
Ellen, I love her. She does the Truth Teller Tales.
oh, Tristan.
Teller
Yeah, she was
Tales.
amazing to meet
I
in person.
love her. She's got
Yeah.
such a beautiful way, and she's an amazing interviewer.
Right.
And I was one of her first interviews, and I was like, wow, you got a lot of information out of me.
She's very thorough. She's
She
very
is.
nurturing.
She
And
is very nurturing, and you feel
yeah,
safe with her. Yeah.
right. Yeah,
She's got a good laugh like you too.
she
Yeah.
does.
Just
Yeah, her husband
all
was very
joy.
thankful to have come to the event because I think it might help them even get along even better. Not that they had it, but I'm just saying like
Right.
it can help that when you understand your spouse a little bit more, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine if I don't know how awake he is or not awake, but I can't imagine. I was married for almost 30 years, and when you can't share what is important to you in a movement or things like that, it's very hard. So when you can get someone to come to this, maybe they get, one little grain,
Yeah.
or they might walk out. That can happen too.
Yeah.
You never
Yeah.
know.
I also want to mention Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan was there.
Yes,
Jordan
yes.
Clark. Yeah.
Yes.
He was awesome. And it was so funny because I had seen him on Instagram. I didn't know he was part of the event. I didn't really know a lot about him. So we were all, I think there was a group at the bar and we were all waiting for people to come in. And I turn around, I'm like, I know you. I'm like, I don't know how I know you, but I know you. You're like on Instagram. He just started
Right.
laughing.
Yeah. It was great to have him there, and he's really great at inspiring people biblically and
Yes. And his
yeah.
story
Crypto,
about his
yeah.
heart.
Crypto-ly.
Yeah, Crypto-ly as well.
Crypto-ly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just
and him and Matt, you know, and
They were great together.
yeah, just
Um, yeah, well, and Scott, it was, I mean,
Scott.
Scott Stone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was great to see him again after a few months, about 5 months.
Well, you're right next to him, right?
Yeah. So,
Just for now, Scott.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No one can
Barry
replace
becomes
you.
Scott.
Yeah. I think Scott will be
Nobody
jealous.
replaces Scott. We'll have our own blueprint.
Yeah, just seeing if there's, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I think we've covered most,
make
Most
sure
people, but yeah, I
that.
mean, one of the things that I love about Scott is he's like he'll be sitting there and all of a sudden just this download of brilliance comes out of his
yeah,
mouth and I'm like, "What? Like how do you know that?" And
yeah.
sometimes I'm like, I think I need a dictionary because I need to figure out what you just
Yeah,
said.
what's the word? Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
but he's brilliant. He's kind. He's funny. I consider, like both of you, like true brothers. I mean, it's been an extraordinary journey, and I feel so grateful to have shared this. And and Barry as well as my sister. It's been so fun. And yeah, it's like we laugh because Joe and Scott get accused of being a couple. Barry and I get accused of that too. We are not.
You're not.
Just so you
I'm
know.
looking. I'm looking.
Yeah.
Any,
Gary's cousin got my card. I don't know how that's going to fare.
I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
we
like,
went.
oh
Uh,
my God.
Let's tell
Yeah.
well, we went to which brewery was that?
Lawson.
Lawson's.
Yes, yeah, amazing. It's been great to go to the different breweries in Vermont and try the different beers and the food and everything else. But yeah, we were at Lawson's.
Joe knows that has learned that we every store we walk into, everyone's saying hi. We literally live in like Mayberry. So at Lawson's, we had someone come over who was completely unaware, like not awake at all, which is 90% of Vermont. And Joe then proceeded to hand his card, TrueStream, and Barry and I both started laughing because we thought, "Oh my God, he's just outing us."
Well, I think why I'm compelled to do that is
It's
because
really good though.
yeah,
I mean,
Yeah,
it's time.
well, because
The way I feel. I
people
see it.
aren't gonna if you're too close to, like, if I'm trying to tell my family, they're probably not going to hear it from me. Your
right.
closer friends may not hear it from
True.
you. So that's why the disclosure has to come out. And now we're seeing like Comey and different people because being arrested or what have you, because it has to come from another source because
Right.
they just put us in a category where they just like, yeah, I don't believe anything they say.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
it's really unfortunate because as we all know, the people that are watching this, we're all just doing this from love and care, and
Right.
we want to help just to bring awareness. And I do feel it's time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it is really time. These people that have been on this journey, that have been awake, you know, the
For
first
decades.
wave of decades, like for 80 years. I mean, come on. Ugh.
Well, here's the thing. Not everyone is meant to wake up. Not everyone is going to wake up. Some people are just, I think about if the situation were reversed and I suddenly found out that everything that I had put my heart and soul in for the past 6 years, everything I knew about COVID, everything I knew about Fauci, Biden, the whole movement and the Democratic Party, that I had been lied to that deeply, as someone who works with the unconscious mind, there are people who are not going to handle it well and will go down. And there are also NPCs, non-player characters, who are basically here but not really here. They just have a fractal of their soul here. So they're on a loop, and you can tell when someone's on a loop and they cannot move out of it, and you can look in their eyes. They're not even really fully there.
Right.
And I know these are topics that are not always easy to understand. I still have a hard time with it. And I've been in a car with Honey C. Golden, who's an amazing healer. We were in Montreal, and our friend Richard Cardinal was driving and he doesn't like driving in traffic. And I watched Honey say, NPCs go home and do something with her hands. And all of a sudden there was not a car on the road. We had no traffic.
Wow, I haven't heard that
Oh
story.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm sitting there laughing in the back seat, and I'm there with her husband John, and he's like, "Look, look, there's no traffic." Oh my God.
I just saw a thing this morning with Mark
Wow.
Bajeski. Every time he goes out for coffee in the morning, they'll just like disappear from his
Really?
where
Yeah,
he
you just
kept
say the
coffee.
NPCs go
And then do a
home.
Yeah,
little,
these are
Yeah, because
superpowers,
we're creating them. We're
right?
creating them with our minds because we need people to serve certain purposes. Like we need people to do certain tasks in our lives. And so my understanding is the actual amount of humans is a very small part of who lives on this earth right now. It's not the total amount that they're telling us, but there's far fewer humans than we think. There's a lot of NPCs, and we could go to the Cabbage Patch Kids and all of that whole situation too. We don't have time for that, but yeah, I just want to make sure that we've covered everything in a recap, and I think we're going to be doing a round table
yeah, next week.
with a lot of the speakers too. So that's going to be coming. So stay tuned for that. Barry, it was always an honor and a pleasure. Any final words from the two of you?
Ladies first.
Um, get yourself out in nature, sit up against
Yeah.
a tree, get a deem,
Yeah.
and just take it all in.
Yeah, well
Do
said.
art, do art,
Yeah. Do art.
art. That's the new currency. It's what I do.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing. It's not even a living. It's just my
Right.
life.
Yeah. I think I'm going to take your advice. And that's what I'll be doing. If you don't see as
Taking
many
them.
shows for on Truth Stream, it's because, I'm personally plugging myself into, being in nature more, trying to not be, and I've done a good job when I'm traveling. I'm not doing the phone calls as much. I'm not doing the shows as much because I'm immersed in real conversations with real people. I mean, why would I want to be doing a bunch of shows when I'm with Lisa and Barry being shown around, Vermont and, different, different, the horses and the cows that we've like all the animals. And it's been amazing. It's,
And the
it's like being in a
mountains.
painting here. Like, I don't
It's
want to be
true.
doing a
Well,
lot of shows when I do that stuff.
I find when I travel, I manifest like crazy. And I
Right.
think it's because what you just said, you're present.
Yeah.
You're sightseeing, there's new experiences, you're not in fear, you're
Yeah.
not like reflecting and ruminating on like how all
You're
these things in
engaged.
your life. You're fully engaged, and that's how we're meant to live. And
Right.
so the more you can do that, the more you can fully be present, the more you are going to take off in your life and you enjoy life better. And you don't have to fly somewhere. I mean, how many times have I gotten in a car and we've gotten lost in a car for like, for an afternoon and just like, wow. Barry's lived in Vermont for over 30 years, and we always find like really cool new places to go visit. Or Montreal is 2.5 hours from us, doing a day trip. It's
Can
just
I say
fun.
one thing?
Yeah.
Um, I love change.
Yeah.
It's something that I feel has really benefited me in my life and moving as much as I have and moved 45 times. And I would say that something that I would say not only going into nature and grounding, taking a back road, do things every day that is completely different than what you do in life because it wires the
Rewires.
brain, the body, the senses, and just really exploring different things that you would never take that road or just I don't know. So just do a different pattern.
Yeah.
Different patterns are
Well said.
very, very
Yeah.
good for everything. So yeah.
Yeah. So, Joe, anything else?
No, I'm just so glad I finally got out to Vermont after 3 years of wanting to be out here. It's been absolutely incredible. Just the amount, it's like this combination of a little bit of, I mean, it's its own thing, but I've lived in Sun Valley, Idaho. I've lived in Park City, Utah. I'm in the Northwest, and it's just really vast here and open and beautiful. And I haven't even been here in the fall yet. I mean, this is
Yeah.
this we're in May right now. So, um, no, just it is. It's immerse yourself in nature, hug a tree,
Yeah.
walk
Yeah.
without shoes. I mean, Barry and I were doing that the other day,
Yeah.
and it was raining, and it was just it
My
was wonderful.
portal.
Yeah,
Portal
her
tree.
portal.
I have a tree.
Yeah. So, you know, try and I forget who said this to me. It was an interview from a couple weeks ago. But it's like when you go out and I know people want to listen to music on their jogs or their walks in nature, but like Carol Friesen says, you know, when I was down in Costa Rica, there was a lot of times I didn't even listen to music because I was listening to the birds or you know the river or whatever. Allow nature to be your soundtrack because
Yeah.
it's really healing.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's my advice. And that I just want to say that because it's like I need that for myself. And so if we do less shows but I'm more sane and in tune with myself, then that's where I need to be.
Yeah. I
No,
I
I agree.
like that you wrote that on your wall on your True Stream. He
Yeah,
wrote a letter
on the
to
Telegram,
everybody
yeah.
on the Telegram, and it really warmed my heart when I saw that. I know how hard they work, and
Yeah.
Lisa also.
Wow.
Great. And
Wow.
Lisa, how about you?
Yeah,
I
and she
mean,
looks younger.
she does. Well,
She's
she has
aging
a
backwards. She has a
few
dean.
products.
I'm sleeping with my Dean.
You did an amazing
Who are
job.
you sleeping with? His name is Dean.
Dean.
Oh my.
Anyway, no, I've been busy with my book. And
You
so there's a
have.
book that both of you are in that's going to be coming out June 16th. We're doing a pre-party. There's 35 authors, including me.
Wow.
And it's all about quantum and quantum as art, quantum as music. There's so many. Quantum as healing, quantum as, and Dr. Joe Vitale is in it, Dr. Carrie Madej, Michael Jaco, some really extraordinary people. I pinch myself again. I'm like, I'm friends with almost every single person. There's one person that I don't personally know that's in that book, and that's Sir Robert Edward Grant. I had watched him a few times, and someone made a connection for me. But yeah, I feel honored to call everyone in that book a friend, and to know so many extraordinary people. And
Yeah,
I
I got to
can't.
meet another Lisa W is in the book and
Yes, Lisa Williams. Yeah,
yeah, she's great. I got to meet
She's
her in
great.
person.
yeah,
She,
yeah.
well, you're a very powerful woman, Lisa, and it's
Well,
in a loving way.
Right.
You're
In a
bringing
loving
love.
way.
You are an earth angel. You and
thank you.
Jennifer.
Yeah.
Jennifer Harrison.
Mrs. Claus, the real Mrs. Claus.
Right.
No, you two
Any,
bring a lot of joy to this part of our planet.
Yeah.
well, thank you so much. And thank everyone for watching. And we'll have the links if you want to watch the YouTube, actually, the links for the event that we just came from. And also, I'll put Chris's information if you're interested in a Deems device. You can look up more. We'll do another show really going into more detail about what it's about. And thank you again.
Yeah, this will
Thank
be on
you.
Truth Stream as well. So
All right.
bye
See ya.
everybody.
Bye.